Wall Street generally says you're not a growth industry, and they tend to penalize you in the newspaper business for that. What is your response to that? If I were a Wall Street analyst and I say, yeah, but you're not growing the way Amazon is.
They're right.
But it's still a good investment because?
And again, Terry obviously is in a little bit different of a financial structure. We're a very privately held company. We have no exit plan. So we're not investing in newspapers because we believe that somebody is going to come in and pay us a higher price later. We're investing in the institutions in the communities and believe that over decades, even generations, that the value will still be there that makes it a valuable investment.
We're in the same boat. We're a holder. We've said that publicly, and we're not interested in flipping these. So the quarter-to-quarter or day-to-day Wall Street analyst view doesn't really matter to us.
Warren Buffett is probably America's foremost and most esteemed investor. Yet 4 years ago, he said he would not buy newspapers. What compelled him to change his mind?
Well, that, of course, would be a question for him.
But you're his surrogate here.
I think the value equation that I articulated earlier, where the values are down, the entry point is lower than it was at one time, and I think he also sees the stability that's occurred. I mean, when he made that statement, it was a pretty dark time in our industry, and I think that's changed significantly since then.
Yeah. A lot of speculation has surrounded both of your companies as to why you're expanding or seek to expand. And people speculate, well, it's because you're buying local monopolies. It's because you're buying into local news, which is the thing. It's because you're buying cheap real estate has great hidden value. It's because you're getting it at a good price, et cetera, et cetera. What is the core of the reason, from a business point of view, you seek to acquire newspapers?
At today's multiples, if you're in the right markets and you have the right management, to Aaron's point, you can provide good returns for your stockholders while doing a pretty important service for society, if you will. Running a newspaper matters. So it's a lot of fun, and we can make money at it.
I think we have a pretty similar view, actually, of the world. I think that from both a business and a mission perspective, we believe very deeply that newspapers matter a lot. And that reflects, I believe, in why financially they are viable over a long period of time, because they do matter. We don't sell widgets, in spite of perhaps how many people price their digital product. We don't sell widgets, right? We sell great content that really matters to the communities that they serve. And I believe from a mission perspective, that infuses everything that we do, and at the right financial structure in terms of an acquisition, over time we believe that we'll make a healthy return.
So it's cause-based as well as profit-based, your mission?
I think the beauty of newspapers is they're one and the same.
That's right.
So if you... Terry, you said, for instance, that it's not, we don't have any newspapers that don't make money. So they all make money. And you delegate a lot of management control to the local papers.
Right.
But is there a point at which you would say your profit margin is not high enough?
Sure.
And what is that profit margin? What is that profit margin?
I don't know. I think that's a case-by-case kind of a thing. You know, what's the relative health of the market? What's the competitive environment? I mean, there's all kinds of variables that we'd look at. How good is the management team executing its plans and all those kinds of things. So I don't think I don't ever want to live in a world where there's a black and white answer to that question.
But you live in a world where Berkshire Hathaway has businesses, See's Candy, that has a much higher profit margin. Heinz, a much higher profit margin.
How do you know what the margin is at See's Candies? I don't know what that is.
Well, I just see my kids eating them, so I assume. But I mean, so you're willing to accept that variable margins for your various businesses, and you're in a company that's basically saying, because this is a cause as well as a business, we'll accept a lower profit margin from newspapers.
I don't think that's true, and I think we're now confusing profit margin with return on investment, and so I think I'm not sure that's true that we're willing to accept it because it's a newspaper. We think newspapers is a great business. It's an important thing in society, but it's not I don't want to give the impression that this is some kind of a cause that we're on here, or a charitable kind of an action. This is a business decision, and we intend to overachieve for our shareholders. I mean, that there's no question about that.